Okay, boss. Till now we focus majorly on extracting transaction data from ECC to BW by using LO extraction or COPA or generic, whatever it is. So we can also extract master data from BW, boss. So from ECC. So when you say master data, it's what? You'll have attributes, text and hierarchies, right? So you can also extract master data from ECC to BW. Attributes, text and hierarchies. So there's only two mechanisms, either use or only two flexibilities for master data, either use ready-made business content extractor or use generic extractor. When you say business content extractor, the data source ready-madely given. You just have to install it from RSFI and replicate, start connecting to your master data and then load in. Okay. ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం, ఇక్కడ కొద్ది పాయింట్ ఏమంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ BW, let's say I have 0 customer. Okay. Let's say I have 0 customer and I would like to load this in BW. Let's say you just select this insert characteristic as info provider. You get 0 customer. So I want attribute, hierarchies and what? Text. Already connect this. Okay. Let's say data source తెలియదు. But if you know data source, what is for most of the business content infobics, you will have ready-made data sources available to load them. But if you create your own custom infobics, there will be no ready-made data source. You have to create your own data sources first. Okay. Sir, I have 0 customer, but I would like to know what are the data sources are ready-made available to extract data for this. So where do you see all the data sources in ECC? Go through. So this is a technique. Okay. Logic suppose 0 customer load cheyalanko, you'll have all the data sources named as 0 customer underscore ADTR, 0 customer underscore text అలా ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారంటే they give 0 customer and say star and execute. So these are the data sources given by SA. One is for attribute, one is for text, one is for hierarchies. So if you want to leverage these three, what you will do? You will go to RSFI, install these data sources, replicate and connect to your objects, format transform, load. Ante. This is a technique they use, but this may not, sometimes this may not work exactly, but generally it works out like this. If you, let's say they give you 0 material, లోడ్ చేయాలంటే R3కి వచ్చి 0 మీటర్తో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యే డేటా సోర్స్ చూసుకోవడం, యాక్టివేట్ చేయడం, రెప్లికేట్ చేయడం, తగిలించుకోవడం, లోడ్ చేయడం, అంతే. దిస్ ఇస్ బిజినెస్ కంటెంట్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టర్స్, హౌ యూ గో అబౌట్ డూయింగ్. ఓకే. Suppose if it is, suppose you in BW you built your own custom info objects, so then your custom info object may not have ready-made data source. In that case, what you will do? You will create what? Generic extract with attribute or text. You know about this, like table view info set, pretty common. Yeah? But do you see any option of hierarchies here? In the ready-made data source, you have hierarchies also. Suppose if you want to build your custom hierarchy data source and extract, then there's a different mechanism. Okay, numbers? Fine. Okay, good. Let's say in BW, I'll create one info. That's the point. Generic attribute text is fine. But hierarchy is లేదు. So there's a different mechanism of creating your own ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టింగ్ ది కస్టమ్ హైరార్కీస్ పుస్తకం వేరేగా ఉంటుంది ఎట్లా అనేది చూపిస్తాను. సో ఇన్ BW లెట్స్ సే ఐ క్రియేట్ వన్ ఇన్ఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. company code. And I would like to enable hierarchies. But I don't want to maintain hierarchies manually, but I would like to load it from ECC. So I've got attribute, hierarchies and text, but I would like to load hierarchies into BW. And this, since this is a custom info object, there is no ready-made data source available. I would like to build my custom hierarchy data source. You know how to build custom attribute, nothing but generic attribute, generic text, but hierarchies is not straightforward. So నా ఓన్ R3 కాబట్టి I am creating my own hierarchy. Generally రియల్ టైం నువ్వు చేయవు, వాళ్ళు ఆల్రెడీ ఒక hierarchy క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు వాళ్ళే. ఓకే, I am creating my own. So I am using this GS01 is a T code where you can create your hierarchies with company codes. Okay, ఇది వాళ్ళు చేస్తారు, నాకు లేదు కాబట్టి నేను క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ మై ఓన్ హైరార్కీ స్ట్రక్చర్. బిజినెస్ వాళ్ళు క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు, నువ్వేం చేయవు. ఓకే, దే విల్ ఓన్లీ గివ్ యూ ది నేమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ hierarchy and you have to extract that. Okay, నాకు ఇక్కడ ఎవరు లేరు కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ మై ఓన్. Give a this is a table. T001 is a table which will have all the company codes in it actually. Okay, and click on the button. What is it here? Hierarchy maintenance. Which field do you want to use in bookers is a field. ఇది హైరార్కీ నోడ్, దాని కింద ఒక లెవెల్ కావాలి, సే లోవర్ లెవెల్ GRP1 node. I am just creating two groups. Two groups are created. Under group 1 I will place some company codes, and group 2 I will place some company. Group 1 values. Click on hierarchy maintenance. Okay, under group 1 I want some company codes. So then click on button value, and it show me all the company code. Just select one and then chalo. Under group 2 I want some company codes again. That's enough, and then say save. Sorry, then a hierarchy. Okay. So they just give you hierarchy name like this. They create that set and then they give you. You don't know those, but business would create that. Yeah. Then you'll have to using that hierarchy, you'll have to extract the data first. Then you'll use BW07. You go to the T code BW07, okay, and you're basically extracting the data set from which table? T001, and what is the field based on bookers, and give your hierarchy name here. Okay, boss. That's it, and say execute. And just click, say what is generate hierarchy, what is the data source name, and say what, yes, ante నువ్వు చేసేది ఏం లేదు. They'll create hierarchy set and they give you generate it some name, yeah. And then now go to your BW and replicate the data source. ఇదే hierarchy name as RSDS. Just activate. Same like flat file loading, it creates segments and ఉంటాయి. So will that hierarchy data source have multiple segments? గుర్తుంది కదన్నా flat file. You can see header and what is main thing మనకి parent ID, child ID, you see the structures, right? Now connect this data source to your and so create transformations. Okay. Now you see the mappings of different segments, right? If you go to the notes, we have all this map. కానీ ఇక్కడ కొద్ది ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది. That's a bug in the system. Okay. Actually ఏముంటే you majorly should see this node name. Yeah. Actually ఏమవుతుందంటే when you look at, you know that hierarchy file, right? You'll have node name and node value. Yeah? For all the text nodes, it takes that node name as what? Infobit name as what? 0HR underscore node automatically. But for my company code, look at this. For my company code, from the source, you'll be getting the field as bookers or something. I should say, I should replace my infobit name as what? Company code. Right? So then I'll right click, rule details. I'll say node name. What is this? Infobit name. And then I'll go with what? Routine. What is routine? When my infobit name is bookers, map the value to what? This company code. అది యాక్చువల్గా బై యూజింగ్ ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ హైరార్కీ స్ప్లిట్ ఇట్ షుడ్ టేక్ ఆటోమేటిక్. నాకు బగ్ ఉంది సిస్టమ్లో, సో ఐఎమ్ మాన్యువల్లీ రైటింగ్ ఇట్. యాక్టివ్ నార్మల్గా ఫ్లాట్ ఫైల్ అయితే నువ్వు క్రియేట్ చేస్తావు, బట్ ఇట్ షో మీ ఆల్ ది హైరార్కీస్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీ కోడ్స్ ఇన్ ద సోర్స్. నీ హైరార్కీ కనపడాలి. వాట్ ఈస్ మైన్ ఇదేనా ZH సెట్ హైరార్కీ 111 అనేది నీ హైరార్కీ. జస్ట్ సెలెక్ట్ దిస్ హైరార్కీ వాట్ యూ వాంట్ లోడ్ అండ్ దెన్ సే వాట్ స్టార్ట్. Why 22? Why more records come up? For each segment, there's a number of records are divided with segment. Next, what you'll do? DTP. Bookers is not valid. Let me just see. I want to see hierarchy structure. Bookers correct ane BUKERS. నేనేం రాసిన స్పెల్లింగ్? కేఈ ఉందా మరి ఇంకేమి? So while updating it is throwing in an error. Okay. Bookers అని just move this to the right and then అప్పుడు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ అది తీసుకుంటుంది. పూకర్స్ కూడా అడుగుతుంది. Update hierarchies, instantly updating. In fact, Bookers is not a valid characteristic for this hierarchy. So what? Okay. See, actually you get some infobit name. Infobit name goes here. For all the text fields, infobit name is 0HR_node. But for there are other records which come as Bookers. Bookers is not acceptable. So you can evaluate kunde. You can infobit name would marchalante. Routine and say what? If infobit name is coming as Bookers, you should change it to what? And if it is other name, it's okay. But if it is feeding with Bookers, I must replace the name with what? Company. Object is not allowed to be empty. You understood what is error? Because for infobit name I am passing only. నేనేమన్నాను, అంటే ఇన్ఫాబిట్ బూకర్స్ అయితే ఇది పెట్టాను అంటే వేరే బూకర్స్ కాకపోతే బ్లాంక్ పోతుంది. సో బ్లాంక్ ఈజ్ నాట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ అంటుంది. సైన్స్ because infobit name will take the name of the infobit and node name will take the node. Infobit name అంటే bookers అని వస్తుంది. bookers వచ్చినప్పుడు I must set to my infobit name. Now it will go through. Now it's loaded. Now if you go to infobit, I should see that hierarchy which is loaded. Like this you can bring out your hierarchies into the custom hierarchies. Okay, two things, either you have standard hierarchy data source or custom hierarchies. That's how you bring it. So this is about extracting mass data. You know about creating generic with attribute, generic with text, that should be fine. Okay.